and welcome back to our Home Ed Adventures UK. I say our Home Ed, as you can tell, it's not actually in the title, right? But it is our Home Ed Adventures. So I kind of am so used to saying it, it's hard for me not to anymore. But those of you that saw the post on Facebook saw that today unfortunately did not happen. We got to my daughter's gymnastics now and managed to just quickly squeeze it in, so which is one positive about it. So I'm talking about my fundraising skydive for classical conversations that was actually booked in for today. That did not go ahead because of winds, which I will delve into further detail about it, because it was too windy. And I've learnt a lesson about skydiving, whether or not I take this up as a hobby, but people in the know, they get there so early. So it opened at 7:30, and at this point my husband and daughter are coming back into the car, so I had to cut the video. But what I was in the middle of saying was that the skydiving centre opened at 7:30, but people came from 6:30 a.m. and it runs on a first come first serve basis. So even though we got there around 7:30, we were number 30 in the queue because people had come and queued up before it even opens. And they must live nearby, because how did they get there for 6:30? Just I was tired to get in there for 7:45. So anyway, the 0 to 30 managed to jump because the weather conditions weren't so bad, but it progressively got worse. I'm back. Sorry for that interruption. We had a bit of drama because my daughter's entrance to her gymnastics is being resurfaced, and there's a different entrance, and we forgot which one it was because the leaflet was at home in all the mad rush. So eventually my husband managed to shout through the gate, and then they managed to connect us, and she's there now, so thank God for that. And as I was saying, the skydive has been postponed because of the weather. Nothing we could do, obviously, and lovely British weather, but the safety cutoff for the wind factor is 23 miles per hour, and it was edging towards 30 miles, and obviously didn't want to end up mangled in a tree or anything, so it got cancelled. But thank God we've managed to rebook it, and I will update the process. But I thought it would be a good time to explain why I would jump 10,000 foot out of a plane for our curriculum and community sees classical conversations, and why we love classical conversations enough for me to do this, and enough for my husband to let me do it. Because truth be told, I've always wanted to skydive since as young as I can remember. When I was a teenager, I did a bungee jump, and I hated it because of the tension on the rope really does take a toll on your body, and I said never again. So I still wanted to do a bungee jump, a skydive, because I'm not scared of heights. It's just I don't like the feeling of a bungee jump flicking you, and it was horrible. I just felt like, I don't know, a ragdoll. But has anyone else done a bungee jump, and how did that feel? Because I hated it. I said never again, and I understood why. And the clause when you sign the papers at the beginning, they say, if your eyes pop out, or whatever. And I was like, that's a bit extra. No, I get it now. So thankfully you don't have that in skydiving, and you don't get that dip in your belly. When you're on a roller coaster and you go down, you don't get that either. So it's quite a pleasant way, really. And it was good because before ours got cancelled, there were about 30 people that did manage to jump today, and it looks just so pleasant. And you'd think I'd be nervous waiting around, because we were waiting for like we got there at just before 8. I was a little bit late, and because it was about 2 hours from my house, I didn't expect it to be so long. Checked in, had our briefing and our little training, and then we had us hanging around, and then you go in like batches. So about 30 people did get, they say about 10 per hour, and I was number 42, and so I didn't get to go. And Letitia and Nick, who were jumping with me, Nick was number 30, Letitia was number 34, and she didn't get to go either, sadly. And Nick was all suited up as well when they decided that no, we're going to have to wait and see for the 1 o'clock forecast and whether the weather's going to turn. Obviously safety first, that's all that matters. So I believe God knows, and we have rebooked. I'm not going to reveal the day, I'm just going to reveal when we've done it. So why would I jump out of a plane for classical conversations? Why would I skydive for them? Because when I got married, my husband said, no, not a good idea, you're not going to do that. And then when we joined CC, I said, can I do it for CC, please, as a fundraising idea? And he's like, okay, fine. So yay. It's two-pronged. Multiple reasons. Firstly, I really do believe God's given me a heart for CC, for the community he's called me to set up. He's really given me a heart for the people, for the place we're in, London, the area. And because it was such a blessing to us, and you know, when we got led to CC, I always say I feel like God chooses CC for you. You don't necessarily choose it, like he draws you to it. It's something really divinely led experience, like, because it is such a blessing. I do, it's like a little bit of heaven on earth. Like, CC is based on 3 C's. First, it's Christian. Second, it's community based. Third, it's classical, the classical model of education. So we'll go through each one. Christian, obviously we are Christians, we put God first. You know, as for me and my house, will serve the Lord. A big scripture in our house is bring up the children in the way they should go. In the end, they will not depart from it. And we know there is beauty, there is, you know, it's good and it is pleasant for brethren to dwell together in unity. And when you have like-minded people who love God, have the same kind of outlook, and you get that one day a week, you know, okay, we're on the same page, and our kids, you know, get to build these beautiful relationships, and you get good iron sharpening iron encouragement, you get good support and love, and it's just like, it just exudes God's love. Because a lot of our families, you know, we're standing on the same principles, we're standing on the same rock, praying to the same God, reading the word of God and trying to apply that to our lives. We all standing on the mission, which is of CC and of our lives, which is to know God and make him known. We all want him intimately, we all want to honor him in our lives, in our family, in our home ed. And I think home editors anyway, you just get connected by that, because you have to be a certain mindset, of a certain, you know, revelation to even home ed, like, because that is already going against a lot of the grain. And obviously Christians, we're peculiar people, so you know, God's love just binds you together, and times that by roughly 11 families a week, and it's like kind of akin to church. Like, it's another day where brethren dwell together in unity, and then we're wrestling with truth, and we're doing educational things, and you know, you see them blossom, you see the children blossom. And because the classical model is all about looking for the beauty in God's creation and encouraging each child to know God and make him known. So it's like, you see their characters come out, and it's like, it's a safe space for them to grow. Like, obviously I'm not saying perfection, but it is a safe environment for them to grow. And just when you overcome hard things and they're working together and they're supporting one another, what I love is, like I always say, I'm always amazed at presentation time that even the younger ones, they just have this innate like respect and support for um their fellow sojourners, students, that they actually support them, they encourage them, even at the tender age of like 4, when they can start. You just see this camaraderie, and when they're playing, like, it's just such a good balance. Like, a lot of families, CC is like their favorite day. Like my kids, they, even now, even if it's holiday, they can't wait to get back, because it's just so sweet and it's a fun way to learn. And they get to, in the morning we do grammar work, so we look at information from the 7 strands, we call them. So that's like math, history, geography, science, Latin. I can't remember, but it's 7 strands. And then they'll do a science experiment or observation, which is more hands-on, and we get to ask good questions and be good scientists, which is we follow the scientific method. And then fine arts, they get to either do drawings, art, as in terms of looking at famous artists, or doing music theory through tin whistle and learning songs. And then orchestra is looking at famous composers and attending to the music. And then we do presentation time, so each child would get to present every week, so it really builds their confidence. You get to know each other through the presentations, and they get to ask good questions, be good listeners, practice their listening, and orating, of course, being good speakers. And then there's review time, so it's like game time where we review the grammar, what they've done that day. And then lunchtime, which they obviously all love, food and play. It's never long enough for them. An hour, we get to eat together, fellowship together. And then in the afternoon, the bigger ones, they go off to do their essentials, so the next step, so concentrate on their writing and mental maths and learning grammar and stuff, and play. And then their younger siblings will play chess, and then when the older ones come out, they have their chess session. But it's really good for the young ones because it's just like free play mainly in the afternoon, so they get to be with their friends. And not just for the children, but it's good for the adults as well. Like, we get to have mum time, mum conversations, and encourage one another, have fun with each other as well. Nothing wrong with that. And that's community day. But on the whole, like, why would I do it? Because I do feel as I've been led to this community, to lead this community. Before I even left my old community to lead this one, I felt just the need to. In America, they have a bursary. So Classical Conversations has a bursary like fund, independent, to help families who can't afford the fees and stuff, who would struggle a bit. And I just felt this burden that, we could have a fund. Like, why not? If America's got it, why not us? And when I told my leader, she actually confirmed. She said, there's someone else in my old community who felt the same. So I was like, great. So I spoke to her, and we're like of the like minds. And then I spoke to the UK leader, and she's like just encouraged me. Like, she's amazing. She's such an entrepreneur. She's really got she's big vision, if that makes sense. And she's like, like the guy who runs the fund, or is connected to the fund in America, she actually knows him, so it's it's a small world. And she said he just said to her, we don't get because we don't ask, and that's actually biblical. And so, don't despise the day of small beginnings. And God is able. And I feel like, God knows our needs, right? He knows our needs. And I'm just compelled to do it and to get the word out there that how good Classical Conversations is, because it was an answer to our prayer. I was desperate for like-minded people, fellowship, just a good support system, a good curriculum to follow, something substantial enough to take us through the 18 years and glorifies God. And and this is more than I asked for, because I didn't realize that I was looking for community. So that takes us on nicely to community based. So obviously the Christian aspect is that it puts God at the center, it focuses on Christ, and then the fruit of that, I feel, just spills over. And you become like a little, no, you don't become, you are God's family. So it is like a family. And then as you obey God and glorify him, obviously the fruits of that are just delicious. So, and then it's community based. So as I touched on, just that's quite unique. Not many curriculums do have community. Obviously you can build community, but because it's necessary, we have to meet for the 24 weeks in foundations and essentials, and then that goes up to 30 weeks in challenge. It's non-negotiable. Like you're forced to, but you want to anyway. So it's not like, oh, you're there under duress, because you can leave anytime, obviously, but we want to be there. We love it. We absolutely, one of the things that really did bless me this year was in my returning family interviews, 2 of the families said that this is the first year that their children didn't ask to go back to school. And I just wanted to cry and thank God that, that's just the testament of it. We're community based, and we are so blessed to have an amazing community. Like, we have mums and dads who are incredible, and one I have to give a big shout out. I hope he hears this. I'm going to send it. One of the dads was a football coach, and he coaches his sons who are really good at football. And we just asked him, would you coach our kids as well, please? And he said, sure. And he's like coaching our kids and building a team. He's got them into a what are they called, league. I'm learning, guys, and he's like really on it. And then there's others who's got all these big ideas about teaching our kids entrepreneurship. We've got coaches, we've got loads of people who own their own business in our community. My husband wants to encourage and do business sessions, and we're going to do, my coach goes to our community and she's a wonderful woman of prayer, and we're going to do mother's prayer, we're going to do dad's prayer. We go on trips. Oh my gosh, my good friend, she's amazing. She's always in the know. She knows what's going on and all the good trips. So she helps with getting us together in the trips. And I hope I left. Oh, obviously our chest dads. And then I've been praying for a musician, and there's a lady who I'm really hoping she'll start. She plays 5 instruments, and she teaches. She's good at music theory. So God is really moving and answering prayer, and I'm just grateful to be a part of this thriving and blessed family, CC family community, and the ones I know from Cambridge before. And it's just a blessing. It's just been it's enriched our lives so much. And as I say, why I feel compelled to raise money, raise a bursary, because I heard something said when I started, and it said money shouldn't be the issue, people don't do CC. And I agree. I disagree. I love the book of Acts. I feel like, let's get back to Acts, how Christians, they came together to get things done. And you know, I just believe in it. I'm passionate about it. Like people always say, oh, I'm like a billboard for CC, or I'm like really excited about it, and I am, and that's the type of person I am. And God knows, like once I've got the nod of God and he's called me to something, it's like all or nothing. It's, yeah, I am a passionate person. I am. And when I really, it's hard for me to do things I don't believe in, and I don't see the value or see the have the why, like the purpose, the reason. So because I know this is my why and my purpose, and I can see so much good fruit from it, not just in the 2 years we've been doing it, but I like to take a leaf out of Lee Bortin. She's the founder of CC, her book, and she's, when her kids were younger, she would always ask to look at the highest level of a certain curriculum, because she'd want to see where we're going. She's scientific minded, obviously. She was a science engineer, so she's got that long sight. And I've heard so many testimonies about CC graduates and seen them and heard them for myself. I might put a video actually, and it just inspires me. And the things they say, it's like, yeah, that's what I want for my child. You know, I want that fruit. I want to be intentional, and I'm grateful. And obviously the steps of a righteous man are ordered by God. Like when you know God has directed you to something, he knows best, he knows why, he knows there's a reason, and I'm just grateful and I'm loving it. So, and I want to bless the community for it, because we don't know what we have in our hands. I believe, you know, no eye has seen, no ear has heard the wonderful things God has in store for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And I just feel like there's a lot of purpose. There's a lot of, even I love the testimonies of how people come to it, or the answer to prayer. They've been praying certain things, and then God leads them to CC, and it's just amazing to me. And it shows me that God is in it. God is in the orchestrator. God is the master builder of it. And you know, we're just the vessels that, and the recipients of the blessing that it is. And then classical number 3, the 3 C's. It's classical, and I didn't know what classical education was before I started Classical Conversations. Now I do. It's based on something called the Trivium, and I think this year, going through my training, the practicum, which is learning about the classical model, it just, and speaking to ex-teachers and researching, it just is the natural way of learning. So you're not fighting the child's natural learning, you're working with it. So it's less stress. And that's why all my kids can get on with it, because even though they're all different, we're all internally built the same. Do you know what I mean? Obviously there's might be different, well, smarts from my book I'm learning, but you know, neurologically and certain aspects of development are universal. So yeah, there can be individual differences in how we learn, but there are certain absolutes ways, but I'm not saying age wise, but I'm saying just brain wise, or the way God's wired us. Anyway, and I've seen time and time again the way it works. Sorry if it looks like I'm shattered. I'm absolutely shattered. I woke up at 4 a.m. 4:30, I lie, 4:30, to get to the skydiving place. So I realise I'm actually slurring a bit. So I just wanted to say my why, tell you my why, tell you why we love Classical Conversations, and yeah, and that's all. So there'll be more. I think I'm going to do a video on what is classical education, and I'll do I'm going to try and do a community day, what happens at community day video. I'm going to try and think of a way to do it without showing the children. If you've noticed, I don't really like showing my children or other children on this channel. I think that's for them to decide, or God to decide whether they're on social media when the time is right. I don't think that's for me to decide, and I want to protect them as well in this day and age. I just feel really convicted of that, actually, because I was praying about whether I should, and I definitely got it confirmed I shouldn't. So that's why you don't see my children on here. But if there's any particular video you want to see, particular area of our life, you got questions, please fire them at me. I'm open for questioning. But you will see the skydive video really soon. Yes, I'm disappointed, but at the end of the day, God knows. So I'm not without hope, but it will be sooner than you think. I don't want to say a date just in case, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be very, very soon, God willing. Just thank God we're safe, and at least I know what to expect. It was fun to watch other people do it, and everyone that did it was like happy, and yeah, it looks really fun. I'll put some little clips that I took because it was nice to get a bit of insight. But this is me going to nap now before dinner, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a blessed week. I hope you're enjoying the summer, and God bless you. Bye. We just got here. It is nearly 8 a.m. We got up about 4:30 because it's a couple of hours drive. I can't believe the day's here. It's not too late to sponsor. I know I haven't done it yet, but I promise I will. And here it is, North London skydiving. That's the plane. I love the plane. Thank God it's modern. I don't know what I was expecting, but I like the colour too, purple. And yeah, I'm gonna go register. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be in the air in a short while. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be today, and our skydive was cancelled because the winds were above the safety speed of 23 miles per hour and was starting to edge closer to 30 miles per hour. So they had to cancel and rebook for us. But in the meantime, it was good to see what we'll be experiencing, and it was a nice day out, which you can see in some of the footage that I took. I have a special hair-raising, exciting announcement to make. Myself and 2 other parents from our Classical Conversations Home-Ed community are going to be raising funds for the Home-Ed families for this year, and I'm hoping to raise enough money to cover our venue fee and to help families that need extra assistance. So if you can in any way possible, I'd really appreciate your support in this. The link to the Just Giving page is in the description. Updates will follow, and of course I'll be recording and taking you along this next adventure with me. This has been something I've wanted to do since I was a teenager, and now is the time and the right cause, and I'm really looking forward to this. So come along and join me, and thank you for any assistance you can give. God bless you. Bye.